Hi everyone, and hope you all had a great spring break. I'm just getting over reading through your discussion board post from last week, and there's a really consistent theme about being assertive as it relates to making a request. The scripts that you read on page 94, many of you were saying they sounded rude. They weren't using good manners, that you would feel uncomfortable saying these things. And I first want to point out that yes, it is a script, so it can be adapted to feel most natural and genuine to you. If this isn't how you would talk to people, then you don't have to talk that way. And saying please and thank you are completely appropriate things to do. By saying please or by saying thank you, you're not being passive. Remember that being passive is not standing up and getting your needs met. So what it means to be assertive is standing up for yourself and asserting what your needs and wants are and trying to get those needs and wants met while also being respectful of others. So by saying please and thank you, you're not, that's not necessarily being passive, as long as you're still able to communicate clearly what your needs and wants are. So for the ones about wanting to move to a different table in a restaurant, you can say, could I please move to a quieter place in the restaurant? Is there a quieter table available? And if there is, oh, thank you very much. Or if somebody cut you in line, and I liked what many of you said was like, that's not a big deal to me, so I'm not gonna say anything. And again, we talked about this, or Patterson talks about this earlier in the book. You don't need to be assertive all the time. So yes, some things that aren't important to you, you're gonna let slide. If things are important to you though, and you do want, you feel that, you want to get your money's worth, or you want to enjoy your meal, or you want to be respectful of the other people in line, and you don't want somebody cutting in front, then it is appropriate to express yourself in an assertive manner, but that doesn't mean that you can't use please and thank you. And tone is very important. You can say something in a kind, compassionate, empathetic way without being demanding or rude. And so I think you guys made a lot of good points about that, and I wanted to clarify that. The other thing that came up a lot was about apologizing, that many of you felt that you would apologize as part of the statement, like, I'm sorry, but I think you cut me, or I'm sorry, but I would like, to exchange this book, or whatever the script might have been. And again, apologizing is not necessarily a bad thing. It does communicate a little bit more passivity, but it can be appropriate at times. What I want you to think about though is, are you actually sorry? If you're not sorry, don't say it. So, but if you are sorry about inconveniencing someone, you've been in the restaurant industry before and you know that it can be difficult, and so you want to apologize for creating a little bit additional work for the employee, it's totally fine to say, I'm sorry, I've been in your position, I know this is a little bit more work, but I was still wondering if you'd be able to do this for me. But if you're not sorry and it's just habitual, you say it without thinking about it, or you say it to because you're uncertain or not confident in what you're trying to say, then that's something that you want to work on. So I know that scripts are, they don't feel very authentic, and so it can feel uncomfortable and kind of weird and awkward, but it's one of the only ways we get to practice being assertive. So if this was hard for you, I want you now to think about actually practicing in a real life situation then. So maybe it is next time you go out to eat, if you're unsatisfied with something about the meal and you normally wouldn't speak up. If it is something that you would genuinely want changed, or get feedback, or get a new item, or get moved to a different part of the restaurant, just try it. You can say please and thank you using those good manners, but practice trying to assert yourself and asking for what you want. And it does get easier over time. I know I am not always been, I've gotten more assertive as I've gotten older, and that's been through practice and realizing that it's not rude, it's not disrespectful, that you can do it in a kind way. And so I encourage you to continue to keep practicing these skills. Thank you all for your conversation this week in the discussion board forum, and as we move through the rest of this book, you'll get to practice a lot of these different skills, and I appreciate your really taking it seriously and trying this for yourself, and I'm hoping that you're finding it helpful. The last thing I wanted to mention is that last week before spring break, I sent out a short a link to a Google form, but not many of you have filled it out. So I'm going to resend it this week, and please, please, please just take a couple of minutes. Actually, it wouldn't even probably take you that long, maybe 1 minute to fill out the 3 questions. What do you want me to start doing in this online class? Are there things that you would like me to be doing more of, or talking more about, or doing something? Let me know. If there are things that you're not liking and you'd like me to stop, tell me what those things are. And then lastly, what are you enjoying about the class, and what would you like to see me continue? If you would give me that feedback, that'll really help me with the last half of the class. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, please feel free to send me an email or give me a call. Thanks a lot. Bye.